I was like, if we're supposed to approach guys, how do you know when a guy wants to be approached by a girl?
Women want to approach men, but for some reason they are scared of rejection. And this is why they want to know how and when to approach to avoid being rejected. But it seems like they are not aware that we just take risks and they will have to do the same. Let's check what they're afraid of when it comes to making the first move.
Okay, I have a question, and maybe this is a stupid question, but that hasn't stopped me in the past from asking my questions. My question here. You know, my brother was telling me about how in the gym, guys don't really approach girls, which, good. Don't approach me. Don't talk to me. Thank you. But so then, I was like, if we're supposed to approach guys, how do you know when a guy wants to be approached by a girl?
That is a great question. And the answer for that is simple. Just walk up to the person you like and start the conversation. Does she really think we get the signal from most women we are interested in before approaching them?
You know, like, because girls, we'll give like the little ojitos, we'll give little signs. Like, you know, it'll be like we'll keep looking back. You're like, ah. But how do you know? Like, if you're a guy and you saw a pretty girl and you wanted her to talk to you because you don't want to talk to her, what do you do? Please let me know. That's what I'm curious about. Thank you.
You must be willing to take the risk when it comes to this game. Otherwise, you will never win it. But it's important to know that rejection is part of the game. Don't expect to get a positive response every time you approach a man. We know that most women are terrified of rejection as it would deeply affect their ego. But this is something they will have to get used to if they are planning to start making the first move. This is what most of us do in most cases. We don't always get the signal from the women we are attracted to. We just jump into it knowing that there is a possibility of being rejected, but we are prepared for it, and we don't even care about if she is not interested. It's normal for us, but sometimes what comes with rejection makes the interaction a bit awkward and complicated, and this is why most guys are no longer approaching. But this is something that most women who decide to approach men will not have to worry about. Because most guys, if not interested, will politely reject the woman who approached them. The other thing I would like to mention is the signs she claims most women give when they like a guy and want him to talk to them. Sometimes it doesn't come as clear as it should, and a lot of guys will get confused if they notice a woman smiling at them or looking repeatedly. They are more likely to think that there is something wrong with them, something on their face, or the clothes they are wearing that led her to have this behavior. Most guys wouldn't think that she is flirting. This is another reason women should give a stronger signal or walk up to a guy and start a conversation for a better outcome, because giving sign alone is no longer enough. Let's check the comments. You can talk to us anytime, but we won't figure out you've been flirting until we go back home one night several years later. That is true, and this is the reason they have to do more to let the guy know that they're interested, because in most cases, a simple sign alone won't be enough. Let's check the next one. I am sorry, did you think we knew that your little signals were perceptible? The intended question here, how do you know? Is our entire life we never knew, we took the risk? This is the part of this game they weren't aware of. They thought that somehow we knew before starting the conversation, but this is not what happens in most situations. We just take the risk, and we know that rejection is a possibility. So far, the next comment is the most interesting one. It's from another woman who is also willing to approach men, but she is scared of rejection. She is looking for the answer to the same question. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so most comments say, we should just walk up to you and talk to you, but I know for a fact that not all guys want that. We don't know if you have a girlfriend or if you like her. So exactly how do we know? Please, some of us don't actually feel pretty enough to just talk to a good-looking guy and get his attention. The answer is simple. Just take the risk like we do. What is the problem with approaching us? Don't be scared of rejection. If you get rejected, it will be a polite one, so you shouldn't worry about it. Let's check the next one. This is the first question on Instagram I was seriously interested in and was looking for an answer for, but what's going on here? There's not even a single helpful answer. This is another woman who isn't happy with the answers she read in the comment section of this video. She really thought that we had a magical way of knowing when to approach or who to approach. She didn't know that this game was difficult, and this is why she isn't happy with the answers. Most people who commented said that they should risk it as we do and be ready for rejection as it's part of it, but she wasn't pleased with those answers. But there's nothing we can do about it. Let's check the next one. Men won't make you feel bad for approaching us or make you feel stupid. Approach any guy you want, you won't get hurt or rejected. I don't agree with this comment. He said that women will not get rejected if they approach a guy, but this is not true because there is a possibility of rejection when approaching someone, regardless if it's done by men or women. If a woman approaches a guy who doesn't like her, she is most likely to be rejected, but at least it will be a polite rejection.
Let's say a guy, like, you're trying to pursue me, right? But I'm just like, no, oh no, and then you keep trying. The woman likes it because she feels like she's wanted. She feels special.
She is not being completely clear on the point she is trying to make. She said if a guy keeps pursuing a woman who already told him no, it's good. And this is what they like the most. But she forgot to add that this only applies if you're Chad. But at the same time, she should know that Chad doesn't have time to waste pursuing a woman with low interest because he has options.
So let's say I'm the woman and you're the guy that there's two guys approaching me, okay? So you're the handsome one, there's another one that's not as attractive. So for the one that I'm attracted to, I want you to pursue me, and I may say no a couple times, but I still want you to keep trying. But then there's another guy who's not that attractive who's pursuing me. I'm like, no, seriously, stop. Like, I don't like it, and he keeps trying. That guy's not gonna get anywhere. But if you keep trying, eventually I'll give in.
But why? But I don't want to do that.
If she expects a guy with options to pursue her after being rejected, she's about to face a lot of disappointment because hard to get is not a strategy that works well with Chad. She will be replaced really quickly. What woman in her right mind would think that a handsome guy she likes will keep pursuing her even after being rejected? This is the result of watching too many Disney movies. Now she believes that Chad can be played with. But if we use real world examples, we will realize that what she just said doesn't make much sense because most women wouldn't make Chad wait. They know about Chad's options and they are well aware that if they don't take that opportunity, other women will. And this is the risk most of them don't want to take. And this is why most of them go to the extent to give it up quick, just to increase their chance of keeping him. Only guys they see as simps are expected to do a lot more. They are the guys who are expected to pay expensive dates, take them places, and still won't even get a kiss, while Chad is not required to do anything but get everything. Let's check the comments. If you ask a woman for a date and she says no, walk away and never ask her again. I also agree with that because there is no need to insist with someone who already told you that they are not interested. It's just a waste of time. Let's check the next one. I know hot women want me to approach them so they can reject me and feel good about themselves. It happens more often than we think. A lot of them just want guys to show them some interest to boost their ego. They are not really interested in the guy. It's all for attention and validation.
Video is for the ladies who make fun of the men who approach them. You guys are ruining dating for the rest of the single women out there. If a guy approaches you and for whatever reason you're not interested, you should not be hopping on social media to make fun of the dude or blast him in any way.
She has made a valid point. There are better ways to turn a guy down, and it should be done properly so that he still has the confidence to approach the next woman, instead of doing it inappropriately, which destroys his confidence and makes it harder for him to do it again.
Irresponsible, immature, and childish. And most of all, it just makes you look stupid and bitter. As a dating coach for men, I see just how many men are no longer interested in approaching women because they're terrified of being put on blast on social. This should not be a fear of theirs, though it is a valid fear. If a guy approaches you and you're not interested, simply let him down easily and kindly and move on with your life. Because there are a ton of amazing single women out there who would just die to be approached by any one of these guys.
Indirectly, they are affecting the dating dynamic without knowing it. They are changing it. And those are the same women who expect to meet a respectful man, a man who knows how to treat others. But I do understand why some women do that. They do it because they have no idea of the level of confidence and courage needed to approach someone, and this is why they think that there is no problem in treating guys that way. But I am glad that some women started approaching men, and this is what will help them to understand our position when it comes to making the first move. As women, most of them never had to approach men. This gave them a different perspective related to this subject. They're not aware of what goes on in our heads. The funny part about this is that somebody has to make the first move, and most women expect men to do it. But at the same time, we have women who reject guys in a way that affects their self-confidence, which leads to their refusal to approach again. And this is one of the reasons a lot of guys are no longer approaching. Let's check the comments. It's the way girls reject you nowadays. If you're not interested in me, that's fine, but at least be decent about it. I've been laughed at, been made fun of, and even cursed out how I could dare to approach Her Highness. Of course, I eventually stopped trying. I have feelings too. This is one of the reasons a lot of guys are no longer willing to approach. Most guys don't mind being rejected, but when the rejection is done inappropriately, this is when guys tend to shy away from approaching, and women are slowly noticing this change. But I am glad that they are willing to approach us. This experience will give them a real insight into what it takes to approach someone. This is all for today's video. I hope you like it. See you next time.